it should be easy to grow your business. And your business isn't growing, it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong and it's not possible for you to grow the business. It's just a misunderstanding that the weight is heavy. Making the weight lighter by saying it is lighter is not going to work.
If people think what they want is an easy, fun life, but that's actually what's detrimental, how do we explain why challenges are a good thing, even though they kind of suck?
Next Level Nation, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of Next Level University, where we teach you how to level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode, a rather deep episode, number 1083, The Difference Between Happiness and Fulfillment. Today, for episode number 1084, happy Sunday. If it was easy, everyone would have the results you want. Alan, I'm not sure if this is from The Psychology of Money, but I was listening to something the other day, and the quote that was said is, if everybody has something, it's not really an accomplishment. And I was like, interesting. That's an interesting way. It's an interesting perspective to look at. And then I started thinking about it. If you wanted to get married, anybody out there, really think about this. If you wanted to get married, you could go get married. So while being married is somewhat considered an accomplishment, it isn't really that much because anybody can do it, and the vast majority of humans actually do it. Alan and I will never get a medal for climbing, what's the mountain that you snowboard down in Worcester?
Wachusett.
Wachusett Mountain. We will never get a medal for climbing Wachusett Mountain. Nobody's ever going to make a documentary about us doing that. But if we did climb Mount Everest, we would get maybe a medal, or at least people would say, wow, these guys are something special because they could climb that mountain. It's because anybody can go to Wachusett Mountain and climb up the side of it. Is that true or false?
True.
You're looking at me very...
No, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the fact that you wanted to do this episode. This is an uncomfortable topic.
This is a very uncomfortable topic, but I think that I just want people to understand at a deeper level that the word easy and your future probably aren't going to be in the same sentence. Because it's the challenge that makes you great. It's the challenge that gives you perspective. And this is really why I want to talk about it. Our listeners are dream chasers. And I just get frustrated when I see people giving advice or information or expectations is probably the best word that's going to set people down the wrong path. And that's one of the...
all the time?
Very often. Yeah, very often. And again, to Alan and I's point from earlier this week or last week, whenever it was, you always got to make sure you take our advice and information with a grain of sand, whatever it was that I said on that episode.
Grain of sand.
Grain of sand, grain of salt. But I think that there's a lot of, and this is another thing too. I was on a podcast today, Alan, and the person asked me, and it was a wonderful episode. He said, what do you suggest for people who want to become more aware of themselves and start to understand themselves and everything at a deeper level? And I said, honestly, I wish there was a 5-step system that I could give you. I don't think there is. I mean, maybe Alan can create one at some point. Like, you're really good with frameworks. I'm sure you could create something. But I said, do you really want to know the truth? I've worked on myself every single day for the last 5 years, and it's been incredibly challenging. It's unreasonably challenging. And I'm doing it every single day. It's unreasonably challenging. But I will also have, and I mean this with no ego, I will also have a deeper awareness of myself and of the world than most people. Because what I want is not normal. I don't want to just have an okay awareness. I want more. I want to have a deeper awareness. And I understand the challenges that will come with that. So understanding, I guess this is the through line for me. Understanding, I guess it goes both ways. The size of your goals are going to dictate the difficulty of the journey. If you can weigh that with the other side of, and this is a weird paradox, your expectations of what life should be are going to dictate what your life is like in the future. So if you always take the easy path now, your life is going to be unreasonably difficult in the future. Unreasonably
100%.
difficult.
100%.
But if you set goals that require you to get greater and learn more, then your life is also going to be challenging. But it's going to be challenging in the right way. So maybe this connects better than I expected, Alan, to our previous episode about happiness and fulfillment. If you set large goals and you understand, yeah, life is it's gonna be difficult, it's gonna test me, but I will be fulfilled, versus I want life to be easy and I want life to be fun. Where am I going to end up in the future? I think that's an important question to ask yourself.
What did you used to think about a life that's fun and easy versus what you now understand? Because I fell for the same trap as well regarding believing, and this is one of those interesting things too, where people can tell you these things, but you kind of have to go through them.
Yeah.
So in coaching, that's one of my greatest challenges is I'm teaching theory, not practice. So I was on the phone with a client recently. We did the 8 fundamentals of finance, and she's going to be very wealthy if she sticks with the program. And that's what I believe to be true. But I can't go do it for her.
No.
You know what I mean? I can tell her what to do and how to do it, and then I can help her, guide her along the way. But at the end of the day, she has to go do the uncomfortable stuff. And so I guess my question for you is, I actually wrote earlier, I'm writing articles on LinkedIn now, and I wrote about this earlier. It was something along the lines of, imagine wanting $250,000 per year income, but not wanting to create marketable skills or to get uncomfortable. Those two can't exist hand in hand. And then there was another one where it was imagine wanting to lose weight, but you don't want to exercise or eat less. So the article is about quantum goal setting, but really what the quantum goal setting is about is it flips goal setting on its head. So goal setting is about, I want this outcome. Quantum goal setting focuses on the causes that actually create those outcomes. So what I want to ask you, Kev, is if people think what they want is an easy, fun life, but that's actually what's detrimental, how do we explain why challenges are a good thing, even though they kind of suck?
I know. I don't know. You have to think more of the future than you are the current. I think that's what it is. It's and again, we talked about this in the previous episode, but I would love to eat cake every single day. Not cake, because I don't really like ice cream. I'd love if I could have mint chocolate chip ice cream for every meal for the rest of my life. I'm in. Count me in. I'm in. But also in 10 years, I probably would no longer be walking the surface of the earth. I'd probably be buried somewhere within it because it's not sustainable.
Yeah,
it's not. So
not sustainable.
I guess this honestly, this episode is more connected to our previous episode than I realized, but it's got to be the right percentage. The right percentage of hard versus easy. But I don't know exactly what that percentage, you and Emilia lying on the couch having a deep conversation is easy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not all you're doing every day. This is hard, but this is easier than it's ever been. It's that weird thing of when you say to yourself, I want an easy life, you're almost stopping yourself from having, and again, this can go a lot of ways, but you're almost stopping yourself from having a better life with more results that you've learned to make easier.
Mm-hmm.
In a weird way. And that's a layer that people don't talk about. This is where this episode came from. I do a lot of podcast breakthrough calls. I think I'm a lot, hundreds at this point. And somebody I talk to, their thing is being in alignment, changing your mindset, and living in a life of ease. And again, that's the brand. I understand it completely. Here's the problem. I know you're not actually succeeding because I saw everything behind the scenes. I know that's not working. I know that's not working for you.
It can't work.
I understand.
Can we go into why that can't work?
Because
so I want to really illuminate this for people because, Kev, that person can't succeed unless they get very, very lucky. because it's not how life works.
But what if, Alan, this is the paradox. What if that person got lucky with the belief that it was through ease and then teaches that's how they got the results through ease. And that's how this, I remember this. And again, remember, NLU, heart-driven but no BS. We actually want you to accomplish your biggest goals. Whatever your goals are, we want you to get them all. We had somebody one time who said, hey, you should have this person on the podcast. And they sent us this person. And this person was a YouTuber. And very successful YouTuber, awesome. But the through line of what this person said was discipline doesn't work. It's not about discipline. It's about being in alignment. I love that. I love being in alignment, but I also believe discipline is unreasonably
How
important.
you stay in alignment.
Yeah, it's how you stay in alignment.
Right.
What if that person built a successful YouTube channel by telling everybody else it was supposed to be easy for them, and that's how that community was built, not necessarily on results?
Yeah.
So, and this is what we always say, how would that person one-on-one coach us? Not us, but you, if you're out there. What would they do in a one-on-one coaching session? What would it be? That's what I'm always thinking of is, okay, that's what they're saying here, but what are they actually talking about? And I think many of these people they don't have to show proof necessarily. So that's why I wanted to really do this episode, is because anytime somebody says, oh yeah, it was easy. It was super easy. It's most likely not an accomplishment. It's most likely something that it's drastically under what they're actually capable of.
100%.
That's the interesting thing. I had this moment the other day, Alan. I went to the gym and I do 5 5-minute rounds. I've been doing 10 5-minute rounds, but I did 5. And I was like, this is easy now.
Mm-hmm.
This is easy. By definition, if I only do that now, I'm going to get worse. I'm not going to get better doing that because it's too easy.
100%.
So that's why I wanted to do this episode, yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Helen Baker from Melbourne, Australia. I'm an entrepreneur and a client of Alan's from Next Level University. I've had many business coaches in the past, and I can honestly say that Alan is seriously next level, and excuse the pun, but he has this unique ability to help you find a solution to your business problems using his intellect and his business modeling and his genuine, heartfelt desire to help you achieve your goals. I can be vulnerable with Alan, I can share anything and feel comfortable in his presence, knowing that at the end of our coaching sessions, I feel empowered to do incredible things. So if you're looking for a business coach, I highly recommend Alan, because his advice and his ability to coach you will be instrumental in achieving your success.
And what are the implications of you getting worse? That's the thing to contemplate.
So many.
You're not going to be as fulfilled, because human beings are designed to get better. We're designed to improve. Like, picture everyone out there listening to this or watching this. Think about something you love, like really that you love. You don't love doing it every time. That's another misconception. Oh, I love podcasting. It's like, it doesn't mean I want to do it every day. It just means that I'm always glad I did.
Yeah.
Okay. Picture something you love: snowboarding, basketball, cooking, whatever, gardening. You, without a question, no matter who you are, no matter what it is, if you love it, you've gotten better at it. Certain. There's no question. Kev, think of something you love. Just hammer it. Rap. Okay. Have you gotten better over the
100%.
years? Okay.
100%.
There's no possibility that you can love something without wanting to get better at it. It's human nature. Human beings we're supposed to build and create. We're the most creative beings on the planet. And I get so passionate about this topic because I've always been so improvement oriented, and there's obviously levels to this, but I think getting really great at stuff is the most magnificent journey in the world. And all the other beautiful things that come into this life. I mean, if I become better at intimate relationships, my relationship with Emilia gets better. Half the reason, seriously, I'm telling you, the reason my relationship is so magnificent has more to do with her than me. I know it. I know what I did not do. Like, I was in relationships with other people they were not nearly as good. And I know why. Emilia brought that in. Half the stuff we teach in Relationship Talks and the We and Conscious Couples podcast is her work. She had a deeper understanding. When it comes to the business side, I'm the one who's bringing us up. I know that. So getting good at stuff is challenging, and it's supposed to be challenging. And if it is easy, you won't get better at it and you won't love it. It's like this weird thing where it's like, and I think that in this, Kev, two things I want to read real quick. One, you've heard me say this at the end of every speech, and honestly, I don't know if it ever lands. I really don't.
That's why, Alan, honestly, I think you've been saying this for a long time, and it makes sense to me. I understand that at a fairly deep level, but my goal in this was to try to transcode this thought better than I have in the past. So people can really understand, like, if this is all it is, if you expect your life to be easy, it's going to change everything that you do, and you're not going to get the results that you could if you pushed yourself a little bit more. Like, if you expect to have your dream relationship, your dream income, and your dream body, and it's all going to be easy, it's going to be way less than you're actually capable of.
And you actually can't.
Well, yeah, but it's going to be
can
way
we go
less.
into that a little bit? That'll be powerful. So you can't have your dream relationship, dream business, and dream body with it being easy. That's not a possibility.
No. Unless...
Okay. Do people know that?
Unless your standards are very low? Is that possible?
No. Because that's not what humans are built for. Humans are built to improve.
Yeah.
So there's not a single... Okay, find me a single person who wouldn't want to be in better shape if they could.
No,
there's no
I
such
agree.
thing. There's no such thing. I'm in decent shape. I still want to be better.
Yeah.
That's just human nature. You can't
think it's
override human nature.
That's my goal. That's my point of this is like, it's almost like, okay, what about this? If I get on a flight and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be the most turbulent flight ever of all time. And that's my expectation. That's my focus. That's going to be my experience. Even if it's not, and that's going to make decisions different. I'm going to make decisions different. I'm going to plan differently. My expectations are going to be different. My celebrations are going to be different. I think it's the same thing where if you say, well, I want and I expect easy results, you're most likely not going to get them unless some stroke of luck happens. You're then probably going to hurt your self-worth because you're going to think you suck. It's like this never-ending spiral of my expectations are, great example. My expectations are my marriage with Taryn should be easy. Okay.
Is that true? Do you actually think that?
No.
Okay. If you thought that, you're in trouble.
No, I know.
Okay.
If I go in with that frame, if anytime we have a disagreement, it's like, oh, is this going to work? This isn't easy.
Right. That's what
anytime I have to bring up with courage something vulnerable, it's like, this isn't easy. This can't be, this can't be right.
This can't be right. Yeah.
That is exactly, if somebody says your business should be, this is it. It should be easy to grow your business. And your business isn't growing, it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong and it's not possible for you to grow the business. It's just a misunderstanding that the weight is heavy. Making the weight lighter by saying it is lighter is not going to work. That's the point.
I really appreciate this episode, and it's very cool because I think in some ways Kevin's coming around to some of the stuff that I've said many years that maybe never landed.
It's not that it didn't. I just want to make sure it lands. It landed for me, but I just want to make sure it lands for the listeners. And I'm trying to, and we're doing it together, but really unpacking layers and layers and layers, which is very challenging.
I want to share this with our listeners and our viewers. The reason I always say that is because audio plus YouTube. Mm-hmm. My favorite part of you, I was telling Emilia this after your wedding party, is that you are like me in that you had such a hard life that everything above miserable is gravy. It's my favorite thing in the world. You're not entitled. You're not expecting awesome stuff to happen all the time because for us growing up, a lot of really bad stuff happened. There was no silver spoon. So, we don't have a misbelief that life is supposed to be easy because it isn't. Mm-hmm. I think we are more accurate in our thinking about what life really is. I think that, I don't know, electricity works and Wi-Fi and Zoom and I live in a beautiful home. I was thinking the other night, we were in the shower, Emilia and I'm like, amazing running water. Like how nice is it to have running water? Can you imagine that a lot of the planet like doesn't have running water? I think about that stuff all the time because I don't want to think inaccurately about humans, about human condition, about life. That's why I love A Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. He was in Auschwitz, and it's a reset. It's like, Alan, you have beautiful clothes, and you have tons of money, and you have a beautiful business, and you have a team all over the world, and you get to impact thousands of people a day, and you have beautiful books and libraries, and Steve Jobs is your hero, and you went to the best schools in the world, and I can't let that get to my head. That's why I did that marathon. I wanted to go suffer. I wanted to go level set and get back to the reality of survival. Yeah. You know, human beings, we forget that 100 years ago, there were no airplanes. There was no internet. There was no Wi-Fi. There was no 2-day shipping. I can't lose sight of how blessed I am. And my favorite part about you is that you don't have entitlement. You aren't expecting awesome stuff to happen by default without hard work, almost to a detriment to where we'll just grind it out even when things aren't working. But I think it's important, if you're out there listening or watching this, what if you were sold a lie? What if you were sold a lie unintentionally because you grew up in abundance? Growing up in abundance is dangerous. I'm serious. I've seen it. Think of a spoiled kid who gets everything they want on a whim. They're going to have a messed up paradigm. Yeah. Their paradigm is everything's supposed to be easy. I'm telling you, it's a dangerous paradigm. Now, there's the opposite of if you grow up in abuse and you assume everything's bad and that nothing's ever going to work out, that's nihilism, and I'm not saying to go there. I'm saying let's stay at 5 here. And so the very last thing here, Kev, I want to read 2 things. This
Just
is the
FYI, Alan, we have like 2 minutes. You have a coaching call.
Good call.
Thank you, brother.
Make sure you're good. So this is the last part of every speech I've ever given. It's the last slide of every speech whenever there was an actual PowerPoint. It says this: I do not wish for you to have an easy life, but a deeply meaningful one. I do not wish for you to take the common path, but the challenging and far more rewarding one. I do not wish for you to do what makes you happy, but rather to do what makes you great, because what makes you great is what's going to make you happy. I don't know if that lands. I've tried to change it, but I can't. I don't want to say I can't. It's like not aligned for me to change it. And I'm not going to read the other thing. I think that's it. Your life has trended up from the very beginning to now. It's been blurry and it's been up and down and it's been sideways, but it's up. The trend line's up. That matters more than any momentary happiness. Growth and contribution and quality of life trending up is what needs to be focused on. And if you have a deep belief that life is supposed to be easy, it's going to be very hard to do difficult things. We all know that all the good things of life are on the other side of difficult things. The Stairmaster, I make this joke. I say Oprah Winfrey hates the Stairmaster just as much as I do. The Stairmaster is terrible. Yeah. It's never fun, and it's never going to be fun. But it's always worth it because you burn more calories. And you get to feel good about yourself, and you get to have self-esteem and self-confidence and a better body. And obviously this is one of my most passionate topics, so I'm grateful that we did it. But yeah, the belief that things should be easy is a very, very big mistake. Inaccurate. I would say that's inaccurate. Just because things have been easy for us in certain countries and stuff of abundance does not mean they're supposed to be. I think about this all the time. All of this could go any day. All of this, the business, the team, World War III could happen. Like I think about that all the time. And why? Because I don't want to take it for granted. And that's why I freaked out when you said that, you and Taryn's marriage would be easy. I was like, if you actually think that, you're not going to work on it, and it's going to be bad, right? So I don't think my relationship with Emilia is going to be easy. We've never fought once, and I still know it's going to be deeply challenging. And because I have that belief, I'm going to work on it and stay humble. And so anyways, that's my 2 cents.
I think you can either fall in love love with the expectation that things are going to come easily, or you can fall in love with the understanding that you can have positive resistance and you will become more. That's what I think that's it is. We're not saying life is terrible. Life is amazing. We love life. Life's amazing. But that's because we try to lean in when it's hard. Life is going to be challenging. Just choose your challenge. I'd rather you choose your challenge and say, you know what? I'm really going to work hard at this thing for the next 50 years instead of having that challenge come in 50 years when you didn't work on yourself. That's the through line of this episode. All right, we got to go because Alan's got a coaching call. Next Level Nation, tomorrow for episode number 1085. It's a deep week of episodes. Are you manifesting your fears? That is what we will be talking about. Self-fulfilling prophecies. That's an interesting thing we're going to be diving into. Okay. As always, we love you, appreciate you, grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we do not have fans, we have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Please reach out